from training.tv, where we're here to talk about the fantastic and wonderful FileMaker platform and Claris platform now. My name is Margaret. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter. Hello, Nick. Good to have you.
Hello.
Nick is a really fantastic, frankly, developer who we're very lucky to have here to train us. He's been here with us pretty much at least 3 days a week, if not more, depending on the week, to help discuss FileMaker and all the awesome things that it can do. And basically, he bends the platform far beyond most people would ordinarily consider its capabilities. So with that being said, let's talk about what the schedule is going to be, shall we? So we have Relationships Day 5 and then Relationships Day 6 on Thursday tomorrow. That finishes up the relationship series, and then basically Friday through next Monday we have completely off. So please enjoy your Christmas holidays, everybody. But we will be having nothing on those the following week, and then we'll resume streams the week following. So not the week following. Yeah, not next week, but the week after next week on Tuesday we start streaming again, and then Nick is start seeing a new series on extreme reporting, which will be very entertaining. If you'd like to support the channel, we would greatly appreciate. We have 100+ hours of really high energy video content. Basically, if you know nothing about FileMaker, you want to get into this is a great series to pick up. We cover pretty much every topic under the sun. Nick's a trainer on it, Richard's a trainer on it, Jacob's a trainer on it, everyone that you know and interact with, they all train. So if you would like to pick that up and look into that, I highly recommend it. People who have bought it before, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate your support. So, with that being said, I think I'll get an early start. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Marge. How are you today? So thank you everybody for joining in today for another day of this series on the relationship. So it's very hard to talk about relationship because it's a concept that is very hard to explain. It's it's not the first time, and it's because it's very powerful, the relationship in FileMaker, and it does a lot of things, so we can talk a lot on this. So today we're going to follow up on this series and continue to talk about the construction of anchor buoy and the relook-up and stuff like this, right? And today we're going to talk about cross-reference table. But before, I want to answer something that from yesterday, the difference between re-lookup and auto-entry calculation. So yesterday it didn't pop in my mind, the difference, but there's one huge, right? And I'm going to explain that. And we're going to explore many other things and stuff like that. If you have questions at the moment and I will try to adapt myself. Sometimes, when I start answering the question and I'm doing something like, that I wasn't ready for, I try my best to do it. But let me share my screen right quick here. The difference between auto entry calculation and relookup. Okay, so let's say I have a contact here. I have a project table, right? And in that table, I have the contact name that comes with a lookup and a contact name that come with auto entry calculation. So I have this, right? And I have this, right? So let's put this into, okay. Let me see if I'm in the right context. Okay, so I'm going to explain this context stuff a little bit. So let's say I'm in that database, I'm going to build a new occurrence that point to projects, So I have an occurrence now that point to projects, right? But there's no relationship whatsoever. Just an occurrence like this that point to the table, directly to the table. And now I'm going to create a layout that points to that, occurrence, right? So it's PRJ projects. Let's put that a table, and I'm going to put all the fields. Okay, so now I have this, okay? So I have this table related to nothing, right? and I have our contact name that comes when we update, when, pointing to the contact table with that ID, right? So if I go to the contact here and I'm changing this guy, and I'm doing this, right? So I'm changing the name of the contact, right? And here, let's say I want to use the auto entry calculation. So the auto entry calculation to reset, to populate, to trigger, right, the auto entry calculation. We replace the foreign key by itself. Okay, so we replace by itself, right? And look what happened here. So when I do this here, so I'm going to replace all of this. Okay, we expect that the auto entry calculation here, this one, the AE auto entry, that will, put one here, ONE, and another one here, right? So let's do this. Oh, it's done. Yeah. So there's a. Oh, yeah. Okay. So okay. Hold on. I need to. Yeah, because I'm here. Let's say I am in this. Okay. So I'm changing this. Yeah, but I don't have it. Yeah. So my example is not good. I thought I tried earlier. It's normally shouldn't have worked, but it worked. Why it worked? So because I'm in teaser one contact, and I have no relationship whatsoever, so it works. So, okay. I'm sorry I messed up my example, and because normally I was expecting that this doesn't change, and it changed. So because their auto entry calculation are sensitive to the context, and I don't understand why it works. I'm here. I'm okay. So normally it should have worked. Yesterday it wasn't working when I was doing this, but it's okay. So I need to come with a better example. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and try to make their, try to make their this working, because normally it shouldn't have worked. Because I'm pointing here how it works. I don't know. I need to go back to the drawing board. So forget about this, right? And let's go and work on what I had to. I'm going to come with the demonstration here was that auto entry calculation are sensitive to where we are. Okay, so are sensitive to the context here. I am in that context here. I'm here. I'm in that context, and I don't understand why this works. So I need to, and why this worked, because relookup, when we do a relookup, it works on any case scenario. Okay, so I need to come back. I'm going to come back tomorrow with a better example and answer this, because I thought I was good with this, but no. Okay, so sometime, I'm sorry, guys. So let's continue the demonstration here. So let's go to the cross-reference table. So yesterday we discovered how we can, from here, from that world, you remember that world, right? And we discover that from that world here, we can get something calculated from here, doing this from here, right? So doing this, doing the action here, the change here, we get the calculation done from here. We get this relationship to work, even though we're there and there's no connection between two worlds, right? So now we're going to do something else. We have a task table, right? And within the tasks table, right, I want to add multiple contacts. I want to add people working on that task, right? So when we have a contact table and we have a task table and we want to be able to add multiple contacts to the task, and we want to be able to add this same contact to multiple tasks. That means we want to be able to add the same contact to another task. Okay. To do so, we use what we call a cross-reference table. Okay. So a cross-reference table, join table, whatever you want to call it, cross-reference table, join table. Okay. So this would be from task to contacts. Okay. So that will be my cross-reference table here, right? So I'm going to delete this, and we are going to put the ID. So as I said in multiple times, in every single table that I have, right? In every single table I have here, I'm adding a parent key in all case. In every single table I have, I put a parent key. Sometimes it is useful and sometimes it is useless, but it is there, So we call it, cross-reference 1, and it's task to contacts. Task contact, okay? And it's not a timestamp, it's a text, and we put here in an auto entry the get UUID. Okay. So now, what is the role of a cross-reference table, right? The role of a cross-reference table is to do a link between a table, right, and another table when you don't have anything in common, right? So you want to link a task, right, to multiple contacts, right? So to do so, we use a middle table, a third table, and then we can join. So I'm going to show you this. Okay. So what I want to do first, so I'm in projects, right? And so I will be in tasks. So I need a task table here. So I'm going to build my task world. So this is how you build a task world. So here, so I have a world that is task, right? Change the color here. So now I have a task world, and I'm calling this T03 because I have T01 here, T02, T03. Okay. So this is the T03 task, pointing to the table task, right? So now in that task, I want to be able to add multiple contacts. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking this here and I'm going to create a link, right, to the task, right, and to their contacts. So this occurrence will do that job. So this will be T03A. It's the first one I'm creating. It's coming from task, and it's going to the cross-references 1, task contacts. Okay. And I'm going to add a key here. So what will be the key, right, that I'm going to use to link a task to this cross-reference table? Okay. It is obviously the foreign key of task. That will be the key I'm going to use. That means in that cross-reference table here, I do need the foreign key right, than going to the task. Oops. And I can't cancel. I can't cancel. That happened sometime. So let's duplicate this and do this. So this was xref1 task contacts, right? And this is the task, ID of task. Okay. And there's no auto entry, right? So this is the main parent key of that table. For now, is useless for now. And here I'm going to put the what's the name? I'm going to put the ID foreign key of that, relationship, right? So I'm going to do this. And of course, I want to be able to create a record throughout this relationship and delete. Okay? So that means if I delete something here in that table, everything linked to this will be deleted as well. It's like a cleanup, right? And this will allow me to create a record. So now that I have this, and we can say here in the name, you add that you create, and you delete. So now we know in the name of the here, we know that we know everything coming from task, going to cross-reference 1, right? And with using the ID, the foreign key task, and I can create and delete. Okay. So now that I have this, right, I can link a task to multiple contacts. So let me show you. So I'm validating this. So I'm going to create a new layout, here. So the T03 task, okay, and we are going to call it T03 task, okay. So this is, so we have a new layout, open. So here, so we can put here the layout name, okay, as a name. And here, so this is my I have a date, right? And I can put the task ID, okay. And here I'm going to put a portal, right, with my relationship to the task cross-reference table, right? And for now, I'm going to put that, okay, right? So I need here something in that cross-reference table. Maybe I can put the date, okay. It's just to create something, right? Okay. So let's add the date here. Okay. So now I'm here and create a new record. So this is our demo 1. Okay. And here, right, I can add, I can create a new record, right? So that is, let's put the name here. This is my contacts, my personnel, okay? Yeah, personnel. So this is my personnel of that task, okay? But here it's missing something, okay? So I can create multiple, okay? I'm going to create multiple. So you can see here, this is the ID of the task, right? It's the ID of the task, okay? So now it's missing something. I want to link, this is supposedly to be the linkage between the task and the personnel, okay? So now, in the task, here, I'm going to add, in the cross-reference table, I'm going to add another foreign key for my contacts. Okay. So now I have 2 foreign keys. So each record here, that puts here more space. Now I have 2 foreign keys, right? Here I have the foreign key of that task. And of course, if I'm creating another record here, and I'm creating records here, the ID here is different than this one because, you know, this is the link to that task. So all the record here will have the same ID, right, of this one, because that's the parent key, that's the foreign key. So now I want to link contacts. Remember, this is what we want to do. So I want to link that contact with that task, you know, with I want that contact to be in that task. So I'm putting this here. I'm putting the ID of the personnel. Okay. So for each guy that I want to add here, right? So now for each record here, I have the foreign key of each contact that I want to put, right? So I have the parent key of personnel and the foreign key here. So now you say, yes, that's okay, that's good, but I am not saying the name of the guy, right? You don't see it. So you have, of course, you say, yeah, no problem. I'm here. So here I have the contact here. So I just need to do is to come here, right? And add a 3rd level and do this. So now I have 1, 2, and 3, right? Yes, it works. So you say, okay, don't do that. Okay. So that is what you're going to do. So you go to your layout and you say, okay, so now that I have a link, I have a 3rd level, right? I have a 3rd level. So now I can go there and take the name and display the name like this. Boom. Why? Because I am here. I have a list of tasks here, and each record of that table here is linked to this. So, and you said, no problem. Yeah, but you have 3 levels. And it's slow doing this. It is very slow. Okay. So this is not good at all. So you say, okay, yeah, Nick, okay, that's cool, but what we can do? Okay, no problem. So you remove that because that's not good, right? And what are you doing? You're doing this. You duplicate this, right? And you go there, and now you call this xref1 task to contacts, right? We change the color. Not the color, right? And we create a full, a full world with an anchor for that table. So I'm going to name this T100, right? And it's xref1 task to contacts. Okay, So this is the world that I'm going to create, right? And from that world, I am going to connect everything I need. And from that world, I need this to be connected to this. So instead of putting the connection, because those two are connected to the same table. So from that world here, I'm going to create a new buoy, that's T100A, right? And it's coming from xref1 task contacts, and is going to contacts, and I'm going to use the ID contact. Why? Because, okay, why? Is because here I'm going to connect the foreign key of that table to the parent key of that table, because that ID belongs to this, right? So now that I have that world, right, what you do is this. You go into the cross-reference table and you create, contact name field. And here is where it starts to be interesting, right? So there's two ways to do that, but, let's do the most common one. xref1 here is showing me all the occurrences I have at my disposal to start with. Where do you want to start? So you see here, I have the T03A, I have the T100, I have this one and this one. I have, those four. They are those, I can start from here, I can start from here, right? I can start from here, I can start from here, the four, okay? He said four. So that means the relookup will start with the one I want. I want to start from here, right? I want to start from here, and I want that relationship. So if I go here and I say, I want to start from, let's say I want to start from this one. I go there, he said, nothing is connected. It's true. From that one and that one, nothing is connected. Let's show. From that one and that one, those two, right? Nothing connected. I don't have connection here, don't have relationship. So let's go to another one. If I said I want to start with this one, yeah, I can go to task if I want. Why? It's because if I start from that point, I can go there because it's related. I have a relationship. But what I want to start from here and to go to here. So, right? I'm saying I want to start from this one. And then I can go, with no problem, go to the contact. And I said, thanks to that relationship, okay, I want the name of the guy. So here, so now it said missing, but it's okay. I'm putting here the contact name I just created, okay? So now everything here belongs to that relationship. So I don't have surprises. This is T03A, 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 and T03A, right? So I am now fully in 1, 2. I don't have a third, okay? And here, this one, I have a lookup, okay? So what happened now, okay? So let's go, to that one. I want to put Yoda here. So now I'm back in TO3. Okay, I'm back in TO3. I'm here, and we agree that I have no relationship whatsoever with that world here, with that contact. I don't have any connection to contact. This is going to xref1. That's it. I don't have any connection to contact from here, right? What happens if I do this? Boom. I get the name of the contact. Why? Right? Is because even though I am here, right? I could get thing updated in this one because I create its own world here that goes to where I want to go, right? So I have my own world for that. So now, and here now I have the name, right? I have the name that is built in the table. So it is searchable, it is fast, it is inside the table itself. I have a pure duplication of the name of the contact, right? So I have no surprise here. But let's say now, right? I want to improve that a little bit, right? I want to improve that. So let's put that a little bit smaller. Okay. I want to connect this, right? I want to connect this, right? But I want the ID of the project. I want to link that cross-reference table. Also, I want to link it to a project, right? So I'm creating in that cross-reference table, I'm going to create an ID project. So now here, I'm going to add my ID project. Okay, so I have the task, the foreign key of the task, foreign key of the contact, and the foreign key of the project. Okay, right? So now I want the name of the project to appear in that table as well. Okay. So I'm going to my cross-reference table world, and I say, okay, I want a B that go to projects, and I want the ID projects, and that go to projects. So this one here is going to project. This one here is going to contacts. So just what I'm doing, the same here. I'm connecting those two, right? And everything clean. I have 1, 2, 1, 2. I have 1, 2. So here now, I can go here and say I want the project name, and it's a lookup as well. I'm starting from 100, and now I have 2. So now you know why the naming, that's why I changed the name from yesterday, right? The naming is key here because say, okay, oh yeah, I want to go to project because this pops, right? I want to go to project, okay, and I want the name of the project. So now, if I go there and I'm going to my project table here, right? So I want project 1. Oh, Let me put the name here, project name. Okay. Project 1. I want the project 2. I want, again, the project 1 for this one, right? So you can add multiple times the same, or you can add another one if you want. Okay, project 3. So now we have 2 tables connected to the cross-reference table. So this table here is doing it's the bridge, the hub of the task, right? From the task, the context, and the projects. But I don't have a mess here. I don't. I don't have a mess at all. So we can put here, let's put here, the world. Task to the cross-reference table to just show the poll. And everything behind this, it's another world that takes the burden to do it, right? But it's 1, 2, right? Yes, I know what you're going to do. You say, oh, yeah, you can add all those 2. You could add them behind this and do the auto entry calculation as well. Yes, but it's not clean. You have 3 levels. Here it's clean. It's, everything you need to do from the cross-reference table 1, you need to go there. And everything you need to do will be there, right? So do we have any questions?
Not on Twitch or YouTube, and then let me look at Discord, Discord has now chosen a weird moment to be irritating. There we go. Cross-reference table is to avoid creating multi-to-multi relationships.
Yes. No. Here. Yes, and it depends what you say. It's a table where in that table you need to see that as a hub. Okay. It's a hub from one task and connect one project and one contact, right? So from this one here, I can have many. I don't know if I can zoom in. Here I have one task here. That means 1. When you have the cow fit, that's how we call that, cow fit. When you have the cow fit here, that means that is many. So that means from one task, I can have many cross-reference table. And that's true. That's true, right? That's true. I have 1, 2, 3, right? Here is different. I have many cross-reference records, but only 1, right? Only 1, because I am what's the name? I'm creating here. I'm not creating records from here, so it's 1 only. So that means each many record here can have only 1 connection here. Okay. So, but I think your question was using terms. We know terms we use in relationship, but you want to explain an ID. Okay. So yes, here I'm connecting from. I have 1 task, and I want many personnel. Okay, related to. So I have many personnel, and each personnel is related to a project. So you have in that task. That means in that task, that guy it has something to do on that day, right, for the project one. And that guy, it has something to do for the project two. And that guy, it has something to do for the project three. Okay. So, but the idea here was to demonstrate that we can jump world to world without connecting them. I'm doing all of this without connecting the world. So now if you don't have another question.
It looks the same to me the way it is placed. Contacts greater than xref greater than tasks, xref greater than contacts.
Greater than context.
I don't know what. Hold on, give me a second. I'm just going to send this to you in Slack.
Yeah, you can rephrase it. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to continue and then see when it will rephrase it. So now you say, okay, Nick, that's cool. That's fantastic, that's cool, but I have now the name, duplication, triplication of the contact name all over the place. You know, I have the contact name in projects that comes with a lookup. And I have the contact name in the cross-reference table one here that comes from a lookup. That means you're great, Nick, but you know, if I'm going there and I'm changing the name of that guy, yeah, I'm still Yoda. I didn't change anything. Ha. Yeah, but no, because remember, it's very easy to update all of these things. Very, very easy, right? So how you do that? You do a script, right? A little script, right? And you say this is a trigger. It's a on record commit, right? And what it's doing is update contacts. That's what I'm doing. Okay. So why we need a script? Before to do anything, I am back here, back to the starting point. Okay. So we have the name of the contact in this, and we have the name of the contact in this. How the hell I can now update all of those things without, you know, linking all of those things together? I have a link that updates, you know, my contact here, my projects, right? The name of the projects. I have a link from here, right? So this one here, I have a link to this one. Yeah. So I want to update all of those names. Okay. So what I need to do is this. I have actually I have two, but you know, I have a connection from contact to project. So now we have this, but now I need from contact to go, you guessed it, to the cross-reference one. Remember? And I want to update, I'm in contacts. So I want the relationship to find out all the contacts in that table with the key, the contact key, right? In this table. So now I have a connection from contact to xref1, and I just have to do this. That's it. So now, right? So now, look what happened here. Now that I have I'm here, okay? So I can see here, I'm in T01. I can see all the records from the project, right? So I have Yoda in all those projects. I have only one, right? And I have Yoda also in all those, cross-reference table. I have only one, okay? So we know we have the connection between this contact and the two other table. I'm creating a script here, very simple, and I do this. Replace field contents. The first one we need to update is located here. So I need to update. Remember the tickling? I need to use the tickling technique, and I'm updating the IDF contacts in that table with the parent's key I am in, because this script will be triggered from contacts. So I am in this contact, look for all the records using that ID and change that ID with the current ID I'm in. And I'm doing this also, you guessed it, using the cross-reference table, change that contact ID with this. So now that I have this, right, it's a trigger because I'm going to put that here in my triggers. And I say, when I commit a record, play this, right? So now, look what happened when I'm doing this. Boom. Change the name here. And boom, change the name here. Do it again. I have the name here. I have the name here. I'm removing this. Boom. Right? Boom. So let's say now, right, I have multiple. I have the same guy in that one, or I have it here, and I have another one. The contact was here, right? No, sorry. I copied the wrong one. I want that guy. What happened here? Contact? Why is not coming? Personnel? Yeah. Did I do so? Oh, I'm in project. Sorry. Here. Okay. So, okay. So now I have here, I have here, I have here, I have here, right? And I might have another one. So I can change the contact here, right? So I can put that guy here, and I put that here. So I have multiple master Yoda here, right? So now I'm going to change that name here. Boom. It changed here. 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 Right? So it is not necessary. So that was the demo all of this. And you can see 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I don't have a third level. I don't. Right? It's just if I need a connection to do something in this one, okay, I build my connection. I don't do this. I don't do this, Don't do this. This, bad. You don't need to do that. So that was the demo, right? So you don't do this. You don't need to connect two worlds together. You create your own worlds like this, right? So do we have any questions?
David Angel put a graph. Do you have Discord open?
No, but I can do it on my phone.
Yes, it's a graphic, and I can't really verbally explain a graphic.
No, it's okay. Isn't the same. Yeah, but you have three levels. You have three levels. Context to Xref to task. Yeah, it is the same. And I'm not sure. No, it's not. Because no. I want multiple, I want multiple I want multiple contacts in the task, right? I want multiple contacts in the task. Where's my task? I want multiple contacts. Where's my here? I want multiple contacts here, not in contacts. No, it's not the same at all. It's not the same at all because I want from here I have a layout, right? So I want multiple. Why you want the cross-reference table here and go to task here? So why you want to repeat that? So what you want to do this, right? So what the point? No, it won't work. And then no, contact cross-reference task. So what you need a task for? Because pretty much you did the same, no? Cross-reference, and then we have contact to project, like you said. And then you said from contact to cross-reference table, and then you go to task. Why I need to go to task here? You don't need, you don't need to do that. The goal here is to stay always in the 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. That's the goal. Okay. So because when you do this, you are sure that it will be fast. And you can carrying the name, carrying the info like I'm doing here, I'm getting the info from here. I'm going data from that. I'm going data from that. Doing that, okay. Doing that, you you get everything very simple, very fast to search in, right? And sort, manipulate things, right? You can do that, right? So when you don't, when you have a third level, right, it's not as great. Sometimes we have no choice than to put a free level. I can show you something if we don't have another question. I'm going to show you a real world, okay? Because here, I have 11 cross-reference table, right? So let's have a look at the graph, okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, nope, but just saying there's no more questions, so you're good.
Okay. So here, as you can see, sometimes things when you see this with contact name, like when you see the thing I've just created, it's very simple. But when you have something much less simple, okay, you understand now why we don't want to put that behind the third level. Imagine that I have this world, behind, the behind a third level, for example. And this one here, I can use that subsection here, the T109. This T109, the subsection data here, this one, the Xref, sorry. Those Xrefs here, those Xrefs. So if I have another one a little bit more complex, no, I don't. But this Xref here, I don't have a layout that goes there. I don't, I don't. I might sometime, but here I don't, So yeah, I might have a layout that goes there. I will explain why. But you want to make sure that you can understand what you build, because it's simpler to say, okay, I want something in that cross-reference table. I want something there, right? And I want to get something from categories, from subsection, here the material. So I want the material, the supplier. So in those, you know that when you want to get something, you go to the world and you do it in the world directly, right? Like I do here. That's what the one I was looking for, right? So here we have a lot of things going on in the T10, this one, the two. So we have a lot of things going on here, right? We have a lot of IDs. We have the categories because we have categories, subcategories, subcategories. So we have many levels of categories. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4 levels of categories. We have multiple levels like this. So we have a lot of things going on here. A lot of things. So to understand what's going on, and if I open this, we have a lot of things going on. So we have a lot of lookup, for example, that comes with, so I'm starting from the anchor, and I'm good here. I'm good. I see my world. It's okay. All of those things are connected to the T110. All of those are A, B, C, D. Okay, they're all that have a bug here. They're all connected to that world, all of them. So you don't have surprises. You're not full of. I don't know if I go there. It's not confused. You're not confused because you start from the world. You start from the anchor. So you know exactly where you are, and you know exactly where you go. Okay. And if you need a new one, just create create it, right? So do we have another question?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. So sometime, as you can see here, I'm going to the third level, I'm going to the third level. I have a third level here, right? So it's when it is mandatory, right? That I need to be in that context, a particular context, to get the thing working. For example, here I know why I have this. I have this because I have a value list that is based on the ID of this, right? So I need a relationship to get my value list to work. When I'm selecting a material, I need the type and the category to work from that here. So let me show you. Well, I should have clicked OK, but it's okay. When I'm here in the system, and I'm going to the item builder, I need, right, to have those two working. That means if I create a new item, I need this to work. See, if I'm selecting this, I have a new, I have a new list here. If I change here, I have nothing. If I click here, I have a new list. If I click here, I have a new list. So I need this two value list to work with related data. But to work, right, I am in that context. I am in the T106D context, I think. Yeah, AD, right? I'm in the T106AD context. I'm here. That's field is here, right? Okay. That field is in this, is coming from that relationship in the material table. Okay. But this value list here, not this one, but this one. This value list here works, right? So I'm getting the list of whatever is selected in the AD, and I'm going to the value list item to take all the values that I need from that. So that's why I have a third level, T106 AD. Here, I have a third level, right? This one. The one here, the one. I have a third level. This one here is what makes my value list working. I'm selecting a type that populate an ID, and thanks to the ID, I can go to the value list and select all the values with that ID in the value list. But this is a value list. No way, right? I'm displaying anything here from the T106 AD1. That means the third level. I'm not showing anything. I'm just from here populating a small value list from here. But that is an obligation to get the occurrence from that third level, right? So that's why I have sometime exception to have a third level, right? Sometime, So I don't have many, I don't have many like this, right? So they, it's very, very few. If you look all the relationship I have here, you can count them. 2 here, 1 here, 3 here. It's, out of all those relationship, I don't have many, right? I don't have many. Don't look at this one. This one is particular, but it's not finished. But you understand what's going on here. So here I have none. Here I have almost none. I don't have, and I have a very, very complex what's the name, construction, but I have no third level, like in mass, right? So if we don't have another question, we can go.
Yeah, do we have any questions, people, before we go? Are we good today?
We good? Okay.
Ba, 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 ba.
So did you learn something? Let's have a poll because I want to know the level of the simple. It's a curiosity. If the people got that concept of jumping the context like this and play with the context and and put back everything in first level from another one and then avoid the free.
Yes, very interesting and informative.
Okay.
Yes, learned heaps. Yes.
Okay. No, because the discussion here is this, if when you have something like this, first of all, you understand that it's simpler. But none of this can be possible if you don't use a great naming convention, a coding standard, like this. Otherwise, it will be impossible for you to retrieve your babies, right? It's impossible. The naming here is very, very crucial, right? It's very crucial because this is what helps you to know exactly where you are, when you go there and you say, okay, yeah, I want to look up here because I have a lot of things. I imagine that you here, and then you have all of those things, so you have a lot of things here, right? Right. So you need to make sure that you understand. But with this technique here, you can see you start with 106 and you have all the world of 106, right? So there's no surprise here, right? Because you start from one point and then you have all the link to all the relationship. And if you need a relationship just to do something else in another world, create your own over there. And then you have the tickling technique, right? So that's a great technique, the tickling technique to replace, like I've done here, to replace the name. Where's the contacts? Task. So where's my contacts? Okay, contact. When you change the contact name, and you need to update all the data that you have related. Just use that technique, the tickling, replace the ID with the same ID, and boom. You don't need to go to layout and do a re-lookup and all those things. You don't need, right? So that makes, because I know many people doesn't like say, oh, I don't want to move the name all over the place or to move my data all over the place because, I just want to, show a name, for example, something like this. Yes, but no, because when you have because sometimes you can get things very hairy, right? Like this here. So when you in this type of construction here, where is my estimate here? So when you hear in that type of construction here, and you have very complex things going on, yeah, but this one is not a good example. Let's go down here. Oops. Here. Okay. So you understand why you have no rights, to be wrong, because here in that layout, there's a lot of going on. Okay, so you understand, from this T16 here. Okay, so all what you see here, look, all of this, this table, these, everything is, I have very few here, because I need that for a value list and stuff like that, right? So, but everything you see here is 1, 2. So you have no excuse. You have no excuse to say, okay, I want, and here is a good example, because I am from T16 and I'm going to the estimate item. And then, right? So I'm here. And then I have the estimate item. I don't know where it's estimate items. Here. I have my other world. Everything that is behind this panel here, right, is taken over by this. So here I have a lot of things going on here, right? I have a really, when I put the material ID, I have the name coming. When I put the ID of the subsection, I have the name of the subsection coming. When I, I have the overhead recovery, and so I have a lot of going on the estimate item. Each time I'm putting something, right? So if I'm going there, so I have all of those things. But remember what I was saying you. I am carrying all the ID I need. The subsection, the recovery, the material, the category, the type, the version, the contacts, the estimate ID, labor ID, the project ID, all of this. I'm carrying everything in each item of this. Why? Is because it's when you want to go further. For example, you want to say, hey, by the way, how many items what did I sold to my customers from that supplier, for example, right? I want to know, right? So you need to go and see, okay, you have all those items sold, right? In all those estimates, and for all those projects, and for all those companies, and for all those contacts, right? So you have everything is connected. So you have the ability to connect everything. But now that you understand the concept of the anchor buoy, you don't need to connect the world together, right? If I want to know, for example, if I'm going to vendors or supplier, I don't remember how I call it, to vendors like this, but I think I call that supplier somewhere. Okay, supplier. Okay. So I'm here, I want supplier, and I want all the items on the estimate. Okay, I'm going there, I'm going to estimate, right? With the ID of supplier. Okay. And I'm going to estimate ID item, right? I call it B, and that's it. Okay. And so now I have all my supplier. Do I have the supplier here? It should be vendor or something like this. I should have the supplier, but anyway, if I equipment contact ID, I don't maybe I don't have, but I just need to take the ID of the supplier from their estimate. I can do that tomorrow if you want to, how we can move around things like this. For example, on the estimate ID, I have, I can do that tomorrow if you want. Do you want that tomorrow to show you how I can resolve that? I want the supplier ID that I don't have the supplier ID, so I want something like this coming. I can do that if you want. I can do that tomorrow because I'm flexible tomorrow a little bit. So let me know.
Yes, please.
I have two things tomorrow to do. First of all, the difference between auto entry and what's the name? Relook-up. I have to do this, and this one doing right. And I want to do that demonstration. How we connect things together. How we can on this anchor buoy kind of architecture, how you move around things, how we can get from one table to another, and then from the other table to another table, without creating mess, without creating things complicated. So I'm going to do that tomorrow. Yeah. So see if we don't have any questions, we're good.
Thank you.
We're good. Okay. So talk to you tomorrow.
Yes. Thank you.
Bye bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a good day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.